When you don't say much, they start looking for clues. Even if there's no trail, they'll try and create one. You have people who cannot go a day, an hour, not 1 minute, not 1 second without knowing what it is you're up to. They have to know everything you're doing, when you're doing it, how you're doing it, who you're doing it with. They have to know what you're up to in a way that makes you feel the most uncomfortable you've ever felt. They pry into your private life. You remain private. You keep things to yourself. You don't tell everybody your business. You keep what's personal, personal. What's private, private. There are certain things that other people just don't need to know. There are certain things other people just don't need to know. But there are people who need to know everything on top of them not needing to know some things. They feel they need to know everything. And again, this goes back to competing. They need to know everything. They need to know if they're doing better than you. They need to know if their bank account is bigger than yours. They need to know if they live in a nicer area than you, if their house is bigger than yours. If you go to a better gym than them, if they go to a better doctor than you, if you shop at a better grocery store, you best believe they're gonna show up. Here's the thing: they're gonna let you know they went there. I went to here over the weekend. They're gonna say it out loud. This is called projecting. This is called no. This is I think this is called, it's called like selective conversation, or targeted conversing, or like selected This is something to where you're obviously targeted, but someone is using a select term of speech to speak specifically around you. They're talking about something that has to do with you, around you, to make you question your reality. So without talking about you, they're still low-key talking about you and something that has to do about you. Because number one, this person wouldn't have even known about this place unless they weren't aware that that's where you went. People are taking records, snapping pictures. Oh yeah, wait till I drop, man. Wait, I'm gonna drop this video. I am gonna drop this video now. I wasn't sure if I was gonna drop this particular video, but I am now. They have a slight more advantage today. They don't have to wait for the Polaroid to be developed. Imagine how creepy that is, or creepy that had to be. People just like, I saw that flash. No, you didn't. That had to be the ultimate gaslight. People flashing a camera at you, turn the flasher off. That's why they made those no flasher cameras for the creeps. But they're out of control, all right? They want too much information. They want too much information. They want to know absolutely everything. They're not okay. Enough is not enough. And because you don't tell them everything, now this person is starting to view you in a negative way. you're starting to view them in a negative way. Why? It's not that you dislike them or have hatred towards them. You just would rather them not be as nosy, not be as in your business, constantly possibly having to either tell this person, hey, that's a little too private, you don't need to know all that. Some people want to know certain things, and you have to find ways to answer their question without actually answering their question. There are going to be people who ask you certain questions, and it's going to sound harmless but be extremely invasive. And they're going to ask it in a way to where you have to be careful how you answer it in more ways than one. In more ways than one. You don't want to possibly give this person an attitude, because it could make things weird for you or between you and them, or you never know. Certain things happen for people like us. We handle a situation a certain way, and then, now that changes everything. Now everybody is looking at you sideways because of how you handle certain things. So got to be careful with how you do certain things, especially when you could do something one way. You could do something in a way that's harmless, but be taken in a way that is perceived as harmful because of who you are specifically. So you have to be careful sometimes, all right? But just be wise overall about how you handle certain situations, because sometimes something may aggravate you, or you may feel some type of way about it, but it doesn't mean that you have to answer this person in an attitude, or with an attitude, or in an angry way. You can keep your cool about you and calmly put your foot in this person's mouth. You can calmly, step on whatever they just said, just still smash it with your foot. Still put your foot down on it in a peaceful way. All right? Or, however the situation calls for it. Me personally, sometimes if you're the type of person that would take a situation and kind of handle it a little bit more serious than it may need to be, this explanation is perfect for you. But if you already have your method and your way of handling things, just feel free to enjoy the video. But some of us tend to go a little harder in areas where it may be unnecessary. It's something that is not positive, and it's something that's not right, but it would be better to not handle it in a way that it's just unnecessary for it to be handled. Right? Right. So when you have people that are being nosy and you don't want to react to it, you don't want to give them too much information, you don't want to seem like a jerk or be an a-hole when people are just trying to get to know you or ask you questions. You don't want to be seen as he's rude, you can't talk to him, you can't talk to him. But I mean, sometimes you may just have to be seen as that, but don't actually be that. When people ask you questions and certain things like that, of course you may handle it in a way to where they think it's rude because they ain't getting what they want. But you don't actually have to be what they want you to be, as in always be a mean, rude, angry person that's always got an attitude because of what you have to deal with. So it feels like you're just angry at the world all the time. It's okay to move how you move, and it's okay to, it's okay to have your style to you, but you want to be able to have it. You want to be able to handle it maintain it and use it in a controlled manner, not just uncontrolled with it, crazy horse with it. All right, you want to have this thing with some control added to it, so that way you can still get your point across when you need to, and you can still end up in a good situation. You can still end up in a positive situation, all while having people respect you and not play with you at the same time, or know not to cross certain boundaries with you. Just because people are crossing boundaries, you don't have to get out of pocket. You don't have to get bent out of shape. It doesn't have to ruin your day. You don't have to catch an attitude with people just because they keep doing certain things. That's going to make you look like the problem. You may have some stressful things in life. You may be dealing with some stalking, some harassment, some toxic situations, but you still got to go through life with the right attitude, because that's going to help you level up and not stay in the same place to where you continuously have to keep dealing with the same thing over and over again. Once you know that there are certain things, you want to be able to be like, okay, this, it's not going to change. This is what's here. I have to do what I need to do so that way I can accumulate what I need to accumulate to create what I need to create to put myself where I want to be, so I won't have to experience it that much or at all. So that's what we're starting to realize with that and do with that. They can be nosy, they can spy, they can follow, they could try to look for clues. They could ask this person and do some fact finding or some research or some digging or they could do whatever the hell they want. They can do whatever the hell they want. Success is still for you. Your goals are still for you, and you're going to reach them. You're going to get to them. You're going to accomplish them. You can still get to where you want to get, and you will get to where you want to get, regardless of what life is throwing at you. Because when you really look at the situation and you start to see how the game is being played and how what they do does what it does and how effective it is, you start to see how you can make it less effective. You start to see how you can make it ineffective. Okay, they act like this. This is how certain people behave. It's not going to change. Well, if they're not going to change and they don't have to change, something's got to change. Something's got to change. Something's got to. What is that something that could change? If there are certain things that I'm looking at and I'm seeing, and I don't like the way they are, and I mean, I'm totally displeased with the way certain things are, and I'm like, wow, why can't things be the way I would like them to be? Why can't things be the way I'd want them to be? Why can't things just change the way it would be better for me if they would change that way? Why is that? Some would say that's called life. And then what else they would say is the one thing they can change, the one thing that they can change is themselves. People who realize certain things about life is that you can't change other people. But what you can change is yourself. And once you realize you can change yourself, you realize Other people are fine just the way they are. Other people are not your problem. As a wise man once said, other people are not your problem. So coming into that realization myself just recently, it's odd sometimes when you already are coming into the realization of something, the universe will just spout it out. You'll just be in a situation to where you'll hear a confirmation after you have come to a realization from yep, that's it. Yep, no more Haitians. Shout out to the Haitians. But yeah, that's it. Once you realize that you can change, other people are perfect just the way they are. Other people are perfect. Other people are fine. Other people are beautiful. They're wonderful. They're amazing. They're wonderful people. People are truly amazing, and majority of people are good. Majority of people are good, but the simulation, the program, it can do a number on you to make you think otherwise. But the strong will, the strong mind that chooses to not give up and that chooses to fight will realize that all you have to do is change yourself. All you have to do is be transformed by the renewing of your own mind. That's why working on your mind is very important. You got to turn those stones to bread. You got to take those nothings and turn them into somethings. Because it's difficult. You got nobody on your side. You got people that are just trying to play with you in a way where it just it gets underneath your skin. It makes your blood boil, and they do it to catch you off guard and piss you off and cause the stress and the trouble and the worry and the just any kind of anger or frustration this stuff could cause. Because I just remember having conversations with some of the people and just having to hear what they say and be helpless about it. And it's like, what this person is saying is like they're telling you about yourself, and they're low-key saying certain things that they shouldn't have any idea about, but they're talking to you about it. And even other things, it's like they do just to be weird. And not that you pay attention to it, but if you're around them and you're someone that is aware of things or that can easily pay attention to detail, sometimes you just can't help but notice certain things. And it's like if a person is studying you and on a weird level and you're around them enough, you can't help but pay attention or notice certain things. It's just certain things that you're going to see. If a person is playing some type of game with you, you're going to recognize a pattern. You're going to see things that they do to try to, I guess, to try to play these little strategic games with you. But once you realize that it's fine what they're doing, they're fine just the way they are. Maybe you may have been putting a little bit too much into it than you should have. But at first, when you don't know any better, can't really help it, because it's like, oh, it's happening to me. It's a shock. It's like, it's happening to me. Why are they doing it to me? So it's like you care about it because it's you. they're doing something wrong to you. It's something you wouldn't do to another person. It's not right. It's not right. It's not right. You wouldn't do that to another person. So after a while, that if it starts to bother you and piss you off, and you may not be dealing with life too well, it can be troublesome. Especially because they what they do is they expect you to react. They expect you to not be able to handle yourself. They expect for you to not be calm, not for you to, they expect you to be full of hate and rage, because that's what they want you to experience most. That's what they want you to that's what they want you to, the attitude they want you to carry throughout the world. That's what the attitude they want you to carry throughout life. Hate, rage, negativity. They don't want you to have a loving attitude. They don't want you to have a right attitude, a positive attitude. They don't want you to have a happy attitude. I'm not sure if I said positive already, but yeah, they don't want you to have a prosperous attitude, a money attitude. So many different attitudes you could have when you are creating an outlook for yourself on life. It's up to you. Other negative, when you're around negative people long enough, they will try to change your reality. They'll try to change the picture. They'll try to create a different one for you. They'll try to paint the picture for you, and it won't be a good one. Most of them are terrible artists. They'll try to paint a picture for you instead of you painting your own. So you better become a Rembrandt. You better become a Van Gogh. You better become a Basquiat, and paint your picture better than they try to paint it. So having people pay more attention to you than normal, it's meant to just distract you. You're focused on yourself. You're taking care of your business. Your focus isn't on them, but they're too busy worrying about you. So in a situation like this, the name of the game would be to maintain your focus on yourself and be able to keep your cool and not let negative people, toxic people in a situation distract you to the point to where you're thrown off and you make a mistake. When you're angry, or when you're irritated, or when you're about to explode, or you're about to be pushed over the edge or lose your cool, if you don't know how to handle that, you don't know what to do with that, you don't know how to displace that or expel it or create a different attitude, or you don't know how to calm down or relax, that could be a bad situation for a person that is dealing with people who are putting up a mob against them. You have to be in control of yourself, and you have to you're responsible for how you react to things. But is it right for people to force you to react in a negative way? No. Those are the people that are trying to get you up out of a situation they don't want to see you in. So when you're dealing with people who may be asking you the same question over and over and over again because they're trying to make you blow, they're trying to get you pissed off, they're trying to make you mad, you have to reach that level to where you know how to displace and disperse negative energy, to where you know how to stay calm and stay patient in a situation like that. That might be a pet peeve of yours. That might be something that bothers you. But guess what? It's something you have to get over. You can get over whatever you want. You can look at things in a way to where you're untouched, unmoved, unbothered. This is the Matrix. You can feel however you want about something. All right. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all I have to say for this video. Hit the like button. Hit the share button. Don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Peace. If you would like to send a donation, the links are in the description. Hit the Cash App. Hit my PayPal. It'd be greatly appreciated. Thank you for your contribution. I'll see you next time.